us, don't let it fade.
Welcome to Liberty Monday with Monday. Today we continue our careful study of the Declaration of Independence by examining the 11th and 12th of the 27 grievances. These grievances focus on the administration of justice and the protection of individual rights, specifically the right to trial by jury and the right to be judged under familiar laws within one's own community. The founders believed justice must be local, transparent, and rooted in established law. When those protections are removed, liberty is placed in immediate danger. Context: why legal protections were central to liberty. The American colonists saw themselves as inheritors of the English legal tradition. That tradition included trial by jury, established and predictable legal procedures, protection against arbitrary prosecution. These were not minor privileges. They were fundamental safeguards against tyranny. Grievances 11 and 12 reveal how those safeguards were undermined. The 11th grievance, depriving the right to trial by jury. The text of the grievance: he has combined with others to subject us to a jurisdiction foreign to our Constitution, and unacknowledged by our laws, giving his assent to their acts of pretended legislation. For depriving us in many cases, of the benefits of trial by jury. What this means. This grievance addresses Parliament's assertion of authority over the colonies in ways the colonists believed were unconstitutional. The phrase jurisdiction foreign to our Constitution reflects the belief that Parliament had imposed legal structures not recognized under colonial charters or traditional English rights. Most importantly, it specifically identifies the deprivation of trial by jury. Why trial by jury was so important. Trial by jury ensured that ordinary citizens participated in the administration of justice. Government accusations were judged by peers. Political prosecutions could be resisted by local communities. A jury acts as a barrier between the individual and the state. Without it, the government gains tremendous leverage over the accused. How this affected the colonies. Certain cases, particularly those involving trade and customs enforcement, were moved to admiralty courts. These courts operated without juries, were often presided over by judges appointed by the Crown, incentivized convictions through financial rewards. To the colonists, this system undermined fairness and invited abuse. The broader constitutional principle. The right to jury trial would later be enshrined in the United States Constitution and the Bill of Rights. That inclusion was not theoretical. It was a direct response to experiences like those described in this grievance. The founders understood that liberty requires not just laws, but procedural protections. The 12th grievance, transporting colonists for trial. The text of the grievance: for transporting us beyond seas to be tried for pretended offenses. What this means. This grievance condemns the practice of sending colonists to England or other distant locations to stand trial for alleged offenses. The phrase pretended offenses suggests that the charges themselves were often viewed as illegitimate or politically motivated. Why distant trials were so alarming. Transporting individuals overseas for trial created severe disadvantages. Separation from family and community. Inability to secure local witnesses. Enormous financial and logistical hardship. This made mounting a proper defense extremely difficult. The importance of local justice. Local trials matter because communities understand local circumstances. Jurors share common standards and experiences. Legal proceedings remain visible and accountable. When trials are moved far away, transparency diminishes and control increases. The risk of political prosecution. By sending accused colonists across the ocean, the Crown could isolate dissenters, intimidate critics, remove cases from sympathetic juries. This created an environment where opposition to government policy could be punished under the guise of law. How grievances 11 and 12 work together. These two grievances reinforce one another. First, colonists were deprived of trial by jury in certain cases. Second, they were transported far from home to face charges under foreign jurisdiction. Together, these actions weakened fundamental legal protections. The result was a justice system that favored executive authority, reduced community oversight, increased the vulnerability of individuals. Why these grievances were central to the Declaration. The Declaration of Independence was not merely a protest against taxes or trade restrictions. It was a defense of core legal rights. The founders believed that justice must be fair and local. Government must prove its case before impartial juries. Accused individuals must have meaningful opportunity to defend themselves. When these protections were compromised, the social contract itself was broken. Why these grievances still matter. The 11th and 12th grievances remind us that due process is essential to liberty. Trial by jury protects against government overreach. Jurisdiction must be legitimate and recognized. Justice must not be manipulated for political ends. A free society depends on courts that are accessible, impartial, and accountable. When legal procedures are altered to favor power over fairness, freedom becomes precarious. In closing, grievances 11 and 12 reveal how the Crown reshaped legal processes to consolidate control. By undermining jury trials and transporting colonists for distant prosecution, the British government eroded trust and violated deeply held principles of justice. The founders documented these abuses carefully because they understood that liberty lives or dies in the courtroom as much as in the legislature. These grievances remind us that independence was not about rebellion for its own sake. It was about restoring the rule of law and the protections that make self-government possible. Thank you for watching. As always, stay informed, stay free.
Liberty calls us, don't let